Alright, what is up guys? It's Lethal here again. Today's video is going to be a Destiny 2 best video settings, and I'm also show you guys other settings. I recently just got back on Destiny. I've been playing it like a ton for the past like 2 weeks. Anyways, the best settings for Destiny 2024. If you guys want to see future videos about other stuff, or just if you guys want to see videos in general for other like settings, or just like you want me to play a certain thing, let me know. But the next future videos is probably gonna be me pushing out Destiny. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's get right to the video. Alright, so the first thing, the keyboard and mouse settings. So we're gonna start up here. For the mouse, I run at look sensitivity 15, but I also have a DPI setting set already. So it's really depends to you guys. Like, this is what works for me. So like I can't really tell you to like copy this setting. Like, you could try it out and see if it works better for you, or if you like how it feels. But like these type of settings here, until we get to like video, maybe sound and social and gameplay, like these right here, the settings that I personally rock, and they help me out. But it's really just up to like personal. But for mouse, this is what we have here. Global, I don't touch. And then keybinds, there is only two things that I use for the keybinds, or that I have personally switched, and that is the charged, uncharged melee. I have it on the button right here on my mouse, and then same with the charged melee, I have it on the button of my mouse. So if you don't have buttons on your mouse, it's really up to you where you want to put in. Like, it's a button that you should, if you're not used to the regular one, in my opinion, I would try to see if there's a faster key that you'll be able to just click a lot faster, so you can get into better interactions when you're playing the game in general. The other setting that I have changed is just the crouch. So this relates to like the just sliding and crouching. I have it also on my mouse. It works better for me. Again, if you guys don't have buttons on your mouse, then that's really just personal preference. Put it wherever. For controller, I don't play on controller, not anymore at least, so I haven't touched any of these. But if you guys want to see a controller best settings for a controller for Destiny 2, let me know and I'll push one out. Alright, so for video, this is what we're all here for. So I personally play on Windows full screen, because the only reason I do this is because I'm always kind of always using my second monitor. I'm always looking at it. Either it's just because I have Discord up, if I'm just watching a movie or a show and I'm just playing the game, then I always keep all my games on Windows full screen. But if you want the extra FPS, then just keep it on straight full screen, and it does a decent amount of difference. But for me personally, it's not a difference that I care too much about. But if you are really struggling with those low FPS, then I would definitely put this on full screen. For me, I only have a 144 hertz monitor, so as long as I can hit 144 hertz consistently, or at least around that area, then that's more than enough for me. And I always usually hit 144. I think the lowest with these settings I've dropped to is probably like 120, but at most times it's 144 for me. So for resolution, this really depending on your monitor. I only have a 1080p 1920 by 1080p monitor, so that's just what I play on. What if you want to just bump it up a little bit, you want to play on 2K 1440p, or you want to play on 4K, you could with these settings. But 1080p for me works perfectly fine, and the game still looks pretty good. And then for VSync, always want to have VSync off. Realistically for me, this comes with like any game that I play on my computer. I only use VSync if it's a straight like story game, because you're not really trying to aim for crazy high FPS. If you're playing a story game, like at least you want to go for 60 plus, which is like the standard, and you'll be fine with any story game. But other than that, if it's like a multiplayer game, for the most part, like I always have VSync off. It's gonna help you all a lot. Frame cap, I have it on, and this one's a big one. So the reason I have it on and I set it to 144 is because my monitor is 144. So if your monitor is like say only 144 or 240 or whatever, and you have it on unlimited, that means you can just go up to whatever. And if your monitor, if you're getting more frames over what you already have, yes, hey, you're getting more frames, but realistically you're just overworking your PC, you're overworking your computer. So me personally, I would just put the cap on and set it to the amount of hertz that your monitor supports, because at the end of the day you're still gonna get that good performance. There's no need to get that extra frames as long as you're getting, for this type of game at least, As long as you're doing over 60, hey, you'll be fine. For field of view, I run it on max. This honestly works so much better than the regular FOV, which is I don't even know what the regular one is, but I put it on max, which is 105. But if this is a little too much for you, this does take away a little bit of the FPS. So if you see a crazy drop in FPS or just like a little bit drop, and you want to gain those back, you can put it to 100 and you should gain a little bit back. Screen balance and brightness, that's honestly just personal preference. It's really up to you. Alright, now we're getting into the real stuff. So advanced video. So graphics quality up here, you're not gonna worry about this because it's all gonna be customized. So anti-aliasing, I want to keep it off. You want to keep it off. Screen space, ambient occlusion, I can't even say that word, but you want to keep that off. Texture anisotropy. I'm sorry if I fumble these words. I cannot speak English, I swear to God. But this, you want to keep it off. Texture quality, I keep it on high just so the game doesn't look complete like ass. This is not gonna make a huge difference in like your FPS, honestly. But for me, that's like I have a pretty old graphics card, but I'm like I still hit my target FPS. The game still looks pretty great. So I personally, you can keep texture quality on high because everything else you're just pretty much gonna put on low. So if you want your game to still look pretty good, then I would keep it on high. But if you are not reaching your monitor's FPS, or at least nowhere near, like you're 100 frames or something off it, or you're just doing like 70 or 60, then you can try lowering the setting down. But personally, high for me works perfect on this monitor, or on this computer, should I say. Shadow quality, you want to keep it on low. Depth of field off. Environment detail distance low. Character detail distance low. Foliage, oh my god, foliage detail distance, you want to keep it on low. Foliage shadow distance, you want to keep it on medium. Light shafts, medium. Motion blur, take it off. Motion blur pretty much is kind of like just the objects so when you move, if you have it on, when you move around, you're like pretty much there's gonna be objects like, you know, in the background or in front of you, whatever. It's just gonna be blurred out. But if you take it off, it's gonna you'll be able to see everything. Like everything's gonna be clear, no matter like if you move left to right, where you're aiming, etc. Wind impulse, you want to keep it off. Render resolution, so this one's really important. So like first, if anyone like ever sees their game that like it's just like it looks pixely and you're just like you're wondering why, it's because either your render resolution is really low. So 100 is the standard. So 100 for no matter what display range you're playing on. 100, like if you're playing on 1080p like me, you want to make sure it's at 100 because you're gonna get the full render resolution. All right. HDR is really up to you. I personally don't have a monitor that supports it, so it's not something that I use. But if you have a monitor that supports it, I would turn it on. Just makes the game look a little bit better. Chromatic aberration off. Filigran off. So I have an NVIDIA graphics card. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, I will put on plus boost. This is just gonna help you out a little bit better with performance wise. If you don't, I'm not too sure what the AMD graphics card support, but if they have some type of like reflex or a setting similar to this, I would just turn it on max. This is just gonna help you a lot. And that's pretty much it for the video settings. I would definitely these settings a try. Definitely give these settings a try if you guys are just not hitting the frame rates that you're getting and your game's just being really laggy. Especially like with me, I have a pretty decent, like to the age of this computer that I have, it's pretty low end. Moving forward, sound. For me, this is what I run. The game sound, I never put it on max. I just keep it on this 8 right here. Honestly, I don't want the game too loud. Dialogue though, definitely want it at 10, especially if you're playing or if something like your ghost is talking in the background, or someone's talking in the background, you're doing a mission or something, then it's something you definitely want to hear. Music, it's honestly personal preference. I usually always turn this down on most of my games. It doesn't really bother me, so the music is not insanely like crazy loud, so it doesn't really bother me. For chat volume, I keep it at 6, not too loud, but like good enough. Like I've been using 6. Like even the other day I was doing a raid and I was still able to hear everyone perfectly fine, like even if it's down on max volume. So for gameplay, the only setting I would change on here, so I personally have this one off, the full auto firing. So what this setting pretty much does, it's just like if you turn it on, it's gonna make every weapon in the game automatic. So that's honestly really up to you. This, in my opinion, is personal preference, because for me, yeah, you can have photo auto and you don't have to do that burst or like semi, but it's like it could be helpful. It definitely can be. Doesn't really affect me at all. I'm still shooting my way through. Like it's not really a setting that I personally turn on, but you can if you just want everything on full auto. The only setting I would suggest if you guys want to change here is just the full auto aiming. If you want everything full auto. For the other setting I have on here is FPS display. I keep it on just so, like, you can see it right up here. I always just keep it on just to see. For social, this one's really also kind of just personal preference. For me, right now I have push to talk off, so my mic is just going, but that's really just if I'm like consistently playing with people or I'm talking to people in game chat and I just don't want to be pushing the talk button all the time. But usually I have this on. Voice chat I have on, you know, just something I just have on to see if anyone wants to talk, then, you know, we'll go from there. Hey, that's pretty much it for the video settings for Destiny. If you guys want to see anything else, if you guys want to see maybe a controller settings, if you guys want to see some gameplay, I probably will be posting some gameplay. I want to be a little bit more consistent with you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys every single day.